3 seconds. That's all it took to rewrite her life. The bass thumped through the walls. Red neon lights flickered across sweaty faces. The air tasted like cheap vodka and expensive regret. Sienna Wade didn't belong here. But her friends did. And tonight, they were celebrating Mara's engagement at the worst dive bar in Koreatown. The kind of place where you don't ask questions. Where shadows move with purpose. Where men in tailored suits don't smile. I dare you. Mara's voice cut through the noise, her eyes glinting with mischief and tequila. Kiss him. Sienna followed her finger. Corner booth. 3 men. But only one mattered. He sat like a king on a throne made of violence. Dark hair slicked back. Jaw sharp enough to cut glass. A scar traced his left eyebrow, thin, precise, deliberate. His suit probably cost more than her rent. But it was his eyes that stopped her cold. Black. Empty. The kind of eyes that had seen things, done things, buried things. Are you insane? Sienna hissed. Hi, welcome to Ove in Shadow Stories. Thanks for watching. Kindly tell me what country you're from in the comments below. Scared? Mara leaned in, grinning. The great Sienna Wade, who quit her corporate job to start her own consulting firm, is scared of one man? The words landed like a slap. Sienna's pride flared hot in her chest. She wasn't scared. She was smart. There was a difference. But then she saw it. The way people moved around him. The wide berth. The averted gazes. The bartender who refilled his glass without being asked. The bouncer who stood a little straighter when he glanced that way. This man owned the room. And Sienna hated that it intrigued her. Fine. The word left her mouth before her brain caught up. Mara squealed. The other girls gasped. But Sienna was already moving. Her heels clicked against sticky floors. Each step felt heavier. The music seemed to fade. Conversations died as she passed. Eyes followed her like vultures circling prey. She reached his table. His men stiffened. Hands disappeared under jackets. But he raised one finger. A single gesture. They froze. He didn't look up. Just swirled his whiskey. Ice clinked against crystal. You lost. His voice was velvet wrapped around a blade. Korean accent threading through perfect English. No. Sienna's heart hammered against her ribs. I'm exactly where I need to be. Now he looked up. Those eyes. God, those eyes. They didn't just look at her. They dissected her. Peeled back layers. Saw things she kept hidden even from herself. A smile ghosted across his lips. Not warm. Not kind. Dangerous. Then do what you came to do. He knew. Somehow he knew about the dare. Sienna's breath caught. But she'd come too far to back down now. Pride was a vicious thing. It made you brave when you should run. She leaned down. Her hands pressed against the table. The wood was cold. Solid. Real. His cologne hit her first. Expensive. Smoky. Underneath it, copper. Blood. Fresh. She glanced at his hands. Bruised knuckles. Split skin across his right hand, barely scabbed over. What had he done tonight before this bar? Who had he hurt? But his eyes pulled her back in. Magnetic. Hypnotic. Terrifying. Sienna kissed him. His lips were softer than she expected. Warmer. He didn't move. Didn't react. Just let her press against him for one heartbeat. 2. 3. Then his hand moved. Fast. Brutal. It wrapped around the back of her neck. His grip was iron. Possessive. He pulled her deeper into the kiss. Controlled it. Owned it. Heat exploded through her body. Fear tangled with something else. Something she didn't want to name. When he released her, the room had gone silent. Every single person was staring. Sienna stumbled back. Her lips tingled. Her neck burned where his fingers had pressed. He picked up his whiskey. Took a slow sip. Never broke eye contact. Interesting choice. His voice dropped lower. Most people know better. The men beside him exchanged glances. One smirked. Another shook his head slowly. What's your name? He asked. Sienna. Sienna. He tasted her name like wine. I'm Cade. He set down his glass. Leaned forward. Close enough that she could see flecks of amber in those black eyes. You have no idea what you just did, do you? The way he said it. The certainty. The dark amusement. Ice flooded her veins. What do you mean? Cade's smile widened. Sure. Predatory. You'll find out soon enough. He waved his hand. Dismissal. But as Sienna walked away on shaking legs, she felt it. His eyes burning into her back. Following her. Claiming her. She kissed a stranger on a dare. She had no idea she just kissed the most dangerous man in the city. He smiled, but it wasn't friendly, it was ownership. Sienna made it 3 steps before her knees threatened to buckle. The music crashed back into her ears. The world tilted. She grabbed Mara's arm harder than she meant to. You did it? Mara shrieked. Oh my God, you actually... We need to leave. Sienna's voice came out strangled. Now. What? That was amazing. But Sienna wasn't listening. She was moving. Pushing through bodies. Heading for the exit. Her skin prickled with awareness. Like someone was watching. No. Not someone. Him. She could feel Cade's presence without turning around. It pressed against her back like a physical weight. Heavy. Inescapable. Suffocating. Hi, welcome to Black Realities. Thanks for watching. Kindly tell me what country you're from in the comments below. The cool night air hit her face like salvation. Sienna sucked in breath after breath. Her hands trembled as she dug through her purse for her phone. Sienna, seriously, what's wrong? Mara grabbed her shoulder. That man, Sienna started, was insanely hot? Yeah, we saw. No. Something's wrong with him. Did you see how everyone acted? How they moved around him? Mara rolled her eyes. So he's rich and intimidating. That's Koreatown for you. Relax. But Sienna couldn't relax. Her instincts screamed danger. The same instincts that had warned her before bad business deals. Before toxic relationships. Before disasters. She should have listened to them in that bar. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. Her heart stopped. She opened the message. You left without saying goodbye, Sienna? The blood drained from her face. How? She whispered. She hadn't given him her number. Hadn't told him her last name. Just Sienna. That's all he knew. Another buzz. Sienna Wade. 28. Owner of Wade Solutions. Lives at 412 Maple Street, apartment 3B. Her phone slipped from her shaking fingers. Mara caught it before it hit the pavement. Whoa, who's texting? Mara's face went pale as she read the screen. Sienna. This is your address. I know. Sienna's voice cracked. You taste like vanilla and bad decisions. Mara shoved the phone back at her. Okay, this is officially creepy. Block him. Now. But before Sienna could move, a black Mercedes pulled up to the curb. The back window rolled down. Kate. He wasn't smiling anymore. Just staring. Those black eyes locked onto hers with laser focus. Get in, Sienna. Not a request. A command. Absolutely not, Mara snapped, stepping between them. She's not going anywhere with you, creep. One of Cade's men stepped out of the passenger seat. Tall. Built like a brick wall. A tattoo snaked up his neck, dragon scales, intricate and brutal. Boss said get in. His English was broken, but his meaning was crystal clear. Sienna's mouth went dry. She grabbed Mara's arm, pulling her back. It's fine, Sienna lied. I'll handle this. Are you insane? He tracked your phone. Your address. Mara, please. Just go inside. I'll be fine. I'm not leaving you. Go. Sienna's voice came out harder than she intended. Desperate. Because she saw something Mara didn't. The way Cade's man's hand rested inside his jacket. The bulge there. The cold calculation in his eyes. These men didn't make empty threats. Mara hesitated. Then slowly backed toward the bar entrance, phone already out, probably calling someone. Anyone. Sienna approached the car. Each step felt like walking toward a cliff edge. Cade pushed the door open from inside. She slid in. The door closed. Locked. The sound echoed like a tomb ceiling. Leather seats. Tinted windows. The scent of his cologne mixed with something metallic. The space between them felt electric. Charged. Dangerous. You didn't answer my texts. Cade's voice was calm. Too calm. You invaded my privacy. Privacy? He laughed. Oh, dark. You walked into my bar. Kissed me in front of my men. You gave up privacy the second your lips touched mine. Your bar? Sienna's stomach dropped. Everything in a 3-block radius is mine, Sienna. The bar. The shops. The apartments. He paused. Let it sink in. Including yours. No. No, that couldn't be true. She'd signed a lease 6 months ago. Normal landlord. Normal building. Normal life. Kate pulled out a folder from the seat pocket. Dropped it in her lap. She opened it with numb fingers. Property deeds. Her building's address stamped across the top. Owner, Minatazaki Holdings. Her lease. Her signature. And underneath, in small print she'd never noticed, subsidiary of Choi Enterprises. Choi, she whispered. My family name. Cade leaned closer. His breath ghosted across her cheek. You've been living in my building, Sienna. Walking streets I own. Drinking coffee at shops I control. And you never knew. Her vision blurred. This wasn't possible. This wasn't real. Why are you telling me this? Because you need to understand something. His hand reached out. Fingers traced her jaw. Soft. Possessive. Terrifying. That kiss wasn't random. Nothing in my world is random. Sienna jerked back. You're saying you planned? No. His smile returned. Cruel. Satisfied. But I never waste opportunity. And you, Sienna Wade, just became very interesting. The car stopped. Sienna looked out the window. Her apartment building. Go inside, Kate said. Sleep. Tomorrow your life changes. What does that mean? He didn't answer. Just watched her with those predator eyes. The door unlocked. Sienna scrambled out, legs shaking, heart pounding. As the Mercedes pulled away, her phone buzzed one final time. Sweet dreams, Sienna. I'll be watching. And when she looked up at her apartment window, she saw it. A red laser dot. Just for a second. Then gone. She realized too late, the bar wasn't just a bar. It was a cage. Sienna didn't sleep that night. Every creak in the apartment sounded like footsteps. Every shadow looked like a person. She checked the locks 4 times. Wedged a chair under the door handle. Kept her phone clutched in her sweaty palm. The red laser dot haunted her. By 6 a.m., exhaustion pulled at her bones. But fear kept her wired. Alert. Paranoid. Her phone rang. Unknown number. Her thumb hovered over the decline button. But something made her answer. Hi, welcome to Black Realities. Thanks for watching. Kindly tell me what country you're from in the comments below. Good morning, Sienna. Cade's voice poured through the speaker like honey laced with poison. How did you sleep well? He ignored her question. I hope the view from your window was satisfactory. Ice flooded her veins. He was confirming it. The laser. The watching. What do you want from me? Breakfast. There's a cafe 2 blocks east. Brew and bean. Be there in 30 minutes. And if I don't come? Silence. Heavy. Pregnant with threat. Then I'll come to you. His voice dropped. And I promise, Sienna, you don't want me in your apartment. Not yet. The line went dead. Sienna stared at her reflection in the bathroom mirror. Dark circles. Smudged mascara. Hair tangled from running her hands through it all night. She looked like prey. And Cade? He was definitely the hunter. 28 minutes later, she pushed open the cafe door. The smell of espresso hit her first. Then she saw them. Cameras. Tiny. Discreet. One above the register. Another by the window. A third near the bathroom. Her stomach twisted. Cade sat in the corner booth. Same immaculate suit. Same cold eyes. But this morning something was different. He was reading a newspaper. Her newspaper. The business section where she'd been featured last month. Local consultant makes waves in corporate world. Her face smiled back from the page. Impressive resume. Cade folded the paper, set it aside. Harvard MBA. 3 years at Goldman Sachs. Started your own firm at 26. He gestured to the seat across from him. Sit. Sienna's legs moved on autopilot. A coffee appeared in front of her. Vanilla latte. Extra foam. No sugar. Exactly how she ordered it. I didn't tell you how I take my coffee. Her voice came out shaky. I know everything about you, Sienna. Your favorite color is blue. You run every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. You call your mother every Sunday at 3. You're allergic to shellfish. You broke your arm when you were 12 falling off a bike. Each fact landed like a punch. You had me investigated. I had you analyzed. Cade sipped his black coffee. There's a difference. Investigation implies I needed to dig. Analysis means I already own the information. The barista brought over pastries. Set them down without making eye contact. Scurried away fast. Too fast. Sienna glanced around. The other customers weren't looking at phones or laptops. They were looking at walls. At newspapers. At nothing. But their body language screamed awareness. They work for you. It wasn't a question. Cade's smile was razor sharp. The barista's name is Yuna. She owes me $50,000 her brother gambled away. The man by the window? His daughter needed cancer treatment. I paid for it. The couple near the door? They're not a couple. They're insurance. Insurance against what? Against you running. Cade leaned back. This cafe? I own it. The landlord who rents the space? He's on my payroll. The health inspector who keeps it open despite violations? He's in my pocket. The police who patrol this street. He tilted his head. Take a guess. Sienna's hands trembled around her coffee cup. She set it down before she dropped it. Why? Why me? I'm nobody. You were nobody. Cade corrected. Past tense. That kiss changed things. I don't understand. My men saw. My rivals saw. Everyone in that bar saw Sienna Wade walk up to Cade Choi and kiss him like she had the right. His eyes darkened. Like she wasn't afraid. I was afraid. But you didn't show it. That's power, Sienna. Real power. And now people are asking questions. Who is she? What does she mean to him? Is she leverage? The pastry turned to ash in her mouth. Leverage? My enemies think you're important to me. Which means they'll try to hurt me. Cade's voice went flat. Cool. So now you have two choices. Door 1. You walk away, go back to your normal life, and hope my enemies don't find you in the next 48 hours. Door 2. You stay close to me where I can protect you. That's not a choice. That's a trap. Welcome to my world. He stood, buttoned his jacket. You have until tonight to decide. 8 p.m. I'll send a car. And if I run? Cade paused. Looked back at her. Something flickered in his eyes. Not quite pity. Not quite regret. Then I'll hunt you. And trust me, Sienna, you don't want to know what happens when I catch prey that runs. He walked out. The cafe exhaled. People moved again. Phones came out. But Sienna sat frozen. Her phone buzzed. A photo. Her apartment window. Taken from outside. Zoomed in on her bedroom. The timestamp 3:47 a.m. While she'd been sleeping. Another text followed. Door 1 leads to a grave. Door 2 leads to me. Choose wisely. If someone gave you two impossible choices, which would you pick? Tell me in the comments. If she lied, it would cost more than money, it could cost her life. The black Mercedes arrived at 7:55 p.m. Sienna had spent 12 hours pacing her apartment. Calling lawyers who didn't answer. Texting friends who suddenly seemed busy. Even her mother's phone went straight to voicemail. Cade had cut her off from the world without lifting a finger. At 7:50 she'd made her choice. She stepped into the car wearing jeans and a leather jacket. If this was surrender, she'd do it on her own terms. The driver didn't speak. Just drove through streets that grew darker, emptier, more industrial. Warehouses loomed like tombstones. Streetlights flickered and died. Hi, welcome to Black Realities. Thanks for watching. Kindly tell me what country you're from in the comments below. They stopped at a building with no signs. No windows. Just a steel door and a man with an earpiece. He opened her door. Gestured inside. The hallway was concrete. Bare bulbs. The smell of oil and rust and something else. Something copper. Blood. Sienna's instincts screamed run. But where? She was miles from civilization, surrounded by men with guns. The hallway opened into a large room, and there was Cade. But he wasn't alone. A man knelt in the center of the space, hands tied behind his back, face swollen. Blood dripped from his nose onto the concrete. Cade stood behind him, calm, collected, a gun hanging loose in his right hand. Sienna. Perfect timing. He smiled like she'd arrived for dinner, not an execution. Her legs locked. She couldn't move, couldn't breathe. Come closer. Cade, what is this? A test. He gestured to the kneeling man. This is Vincent Park. He worked for me. Moved product through the docks. Made good money. Had a wife. 2 kids. Vincent's head hung low. Defeated. Last week $50,000 went missing from a shipment. Cade's voice stayed even. Conversational. Vincent says he doesn't know where it went. That someone else took it. He's been saying this for 3 days now. Sienna's mouth went dry. Why are you telling me this? Because I want you to ask him. Cade held out the gun. Handle first. And I want you to decide if he's lying. The world tilted. No. Absolutely not. Sienna. Cade's voice hardened. You chose door 2. That means you're part of this world now. And in this world, loyalty is currency. I need to know if you can be trusted. By threatening an innocent man? Innocent. Cade laughed. Cold. Sure. Vincent signed up for this life. He knew the rules. Stealing from me is suicide. But if he's telling the truth? If someone framed him? Then I need to know. He pressed the gun into her palm. The metal was warm. Heavy. Wrong. Ask him questions. Look in his eyes. Tell me if he's lying. Sienna's hands shook so badly she nearly dropped the weapon. Vincent finally looked up. His eyes met hers. Pleading. Desperate. Please, he whispered. I have kids. I didn't take anything. I swear on their lives. Her heart cracked. This man was terrified. Broken. But was he lying? How much do you make monthly? Sienna's voice came out steadier than she felt. 4,500. Vincent coughed. Blood splattered the floor. Your wife work. Part-time. Waitress. Kids in school. Yeah. Private school. Sienna's mind raced. Private school in this city ran $10,000 per kid annually. Minimum. 2 kids meant $20,000. Plus living expenses. Car. Food. Rent. The math didn't add up. Where do you live? She asked. Vincent hesitated. Just a fraction of a second. There. Riverside Towers. His voice wavered. Riverside Towers. Luxury apartments. 1,500 monthly per unit at minimum. No way a dock worker afforded that on 4,500 a month. Sienna turned to Cade. Her stomach twisted with nausea and something worse. Certainty. He's lying. Vincent's eyes went wide. No. No, please, His numbers don't match. Sienna forced the words out. He can't afford his lifestyle on his salary. The money went somewhere. Either gambling or side deals, or he took it himself. Cade's expression didn't change. He took the gun back. Good. He aimed at Vincent's head. Wait. Sienna grabbed his arm. You said if I figured it out? I said tell me if he's lying. You did. Now I handle it my way. Cade, he has children. So do the men he stole from. So do the families who depend on my business staying clean. His eyes met hers. No mercy. No warmth. Just eyes. This is the world you chose, Sienna. Actions have consequences. The gunshot echoed like thunder. Vincent crumpled. Sienna screamed. Stumbled backward. Her hands flew to her mouth. Cade handed the gun to one of his men. Wiped his hands on a cloth. Walked toward her like nothing happened. You did well. He cupped her face. Forced her to look at him instead of the body. You saw the truth. That's rare. Valuable. You killed him. Tears blurred her vision. You made me part of a murder. I made you part of reality. His thumb traced her cheekbone. Almost gentle. Almost human. Vincent made his choice. You made yours. Now you understand the cost. He released her face. Turned to leave. Clean this up, he told his men. Then to Sienna, the car will take you home. Tomorrow we discuss your new position. New position? Cade looked back. His smile was pure predator. You're not just under my protection anymore, Sienna. You work for me now. The room spun. Sienna sank to her knees. Not near the body. She couldn't look at the body. One of Cade's men helped her up, guided her out. As the Mercedes drove through dark streets, Sienna stared at her hands. They were clean. But they'd never feel clean again. Her phone buzzed. Welcome to the family. Rest well. Training starts at dawn. The person she trusted most just handed her over. Dawn came too fast. Sienna hadn't slept. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw Vincent's face. Heard the gunshot. Felt the weight of that gun in her palm. She'd killed a man. No, Cade killed him. But her words sealed his fate. The distinction felt meaningless. At 6 a.m. someone knocked. 3 sharp raps. Sienna opened the door to find Mara standing there. Relief flooded through her so fast she nearly collapsed. Hi, welcome to Black Realities. Thanks for watching. Kindly tell me what country you're from in the comments below. Oh my God, Mara. Sienna pulled her into a hug. I've been trying to reach you. Where have you been? Mara hugged back. But something felt off. Her body was stiff. Mechanical. I've been worried sick, Mara said, pulling away. After that car picked you up, I didn't know what to think. Are you okay? No. Nothing's okay. Mara, we need to go to the police. That man Cade, he's dangerous. He killed someone right in front of me. Mara's eyes widened. He what? Last night. A man named Vincent. Cade made me question him and then, Sienna's voice cracked. I need help. I need to get out of here. Okay. Okay, let's think. Mara grabbed her hands. My cousin's a cop. We can go to him. He'll know what to do. Hope sparked in Sienna's chest. Really? Yeah. Get dressed. I'll drive you there right now. Sienna rushed to her bedroom. Threw on clothes. Grabbed her purse. Her hands shook as she tied her shoes. Finally, someone who could help. They made it to Mara's car. A silver sedan. Nothing special. Sienna climbed into the passenger seat. Mara started the engine. Thank you, Sienna whispered. I don't know what I would have done if... Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. She ignored it. It buzzed again. And again. And again. Just check it, Mara said, pulling onto the street. Might be important. Sienna unlocked her phone. 12 messages. All photos. Her blood turned to ice. The first photo, Mara at a casino. Time stamped from 3 months ago. The second, Mara shaking hands with a man in an expensive suit. His face was visible. Cade. The third, bank statements. Mara's name at the top. Deposits. Large ones. 20,000. 30,000. 50,000. All from shell companies. All traced back to Choi Enterprises. Sienna? You okay? Mara's voice sounded far away. The fourth photo made Sienna's stomach drop. Mara and Cade in a restaurant. Laughing. Comfortable. Recent. Last week recent. Before the dare. Before the kiss. Before everything. You knew him. Sienna's voice came out flat. That. Mara's hands tightened on the steering wheel. What? The dare. The kiss. It wasn't random. Sienna turned to face her. You set me up. Silence filled the car. Then Mara sighed. Long tired. I'm sorry. No emotion. No regret. Just fact. The car turned. Wrong direction. Away from downtown. Toward the industrial district. Toward Cade's territory. Mara, what are you doing? My job. Mara's voice stayed steady. I owed him money, Sienna. A lot of it. Gambling debts. He said if I brought you to that bar, if I got you to kiss him, he'd wipe my slate clean. Betrayal tasted like poison. We've been friends for 6 years. And I've been in debt for 3. Mara finally looked at her. Her eyes were hollow. Defeated. You don't understand what it's like. The threats. The interest piling up. I couldn't breathe. Couldn't sleep. He owned me. So you sold me? I gave you an opportunity. Mara's jaw clenched. Cade doesn't pick random people, Sienna. He chose you specifically. Your business, your intelligence, your reputation. He wanted someone clean, someone capable, someone he could mold. The pieces clicked into place. The article in the paper, her business success, the timing. Cade had been watching her for months, and Mara delivered her right into his hands. Where are you taking me? Back to him. You said you'd try to run, that you'd come to me for help. Mara's voice cracked just slightly. I'm sorry, but I can't fight him. Nobody can. Sienna's mind raced. The car was moving fast. 50 miles per hour. 60. Doors locked. Windows up. No escape. Unless. Her hand slowly moved to her seatbelt. Released it. The click was barely audible. Mara, please. Don't do this. We can figure something out together. There's nothing to figure out. He owns this city. He owns me. And now he owns you. They turned onto a dark street. Warehouses on both sides. Sienna saw her chance. A red light ahead. Mara would have to slow down. Mara's betrayal had destroyed something fundamental. Trust. She touched a line she swore she'd never cross. Cade led her into a penthouse suite overlooking the city. Floor-to-ceiling windows. Marble floors. Art that probably cost more than her entire apartment building. But Sienna noticed none of it. She was still seeing Mara's face. Still feeling the sting of betrayal like a knife between her ribs. Sit. Cade gestured to a leather couch. Sienna remained standing. What do you want from me? Right now? I want you to understand something. He poured 2 glasses of whiskey. Held one out to her. Your old life is gone. Your friends? Bought. Your safety? Mine to control. Your choices? Limited to what I allow. Hi, welcome to Black Realities. Thanks for watching. Kindly tell me what country you're from in the comments below. She didn't take the glass. Cade set it on the table. Drank his own in one smooth motion. Tomorrow morning, you're going to visit your largest client. The tech startup. What's their name again? Neuralink. Sienna's voice was hollow. Right. Neuralink. They trust you. They've signed 3 contracts through your firm. $6 million in total revenue. He refilled his glass. Tomorrow you're going to convince them to switch banking institutions. From Pacific Trust to Golden Shore Credit Union. Sienna's business instincts kicked in despite her emotional numbness. Golden Shore has terrible rates. No established tech sector experience. Why would they? Because you'll make them believe it's the smart choice. Cade's eyes locked onto hers. You'll fabricate concerns about Pacific Trust stability. You'll show them projections that don't exist. You'll lie. Persuasively. That's fraud. That's business. He corrected. And Golden Shore is mine. Every deposit they make, I control. Every transaction I track. It's how I move money without federal oversight. Money laundering. The words tasted like acid. Such ugly terminology. Cade smiled. I prefer financial optimization. I won't do it. I've built my reputation on integrity. If I lose that, I lose everything. You already lost everything. His voice went cold. The question is whether you want to lose your life too. He pulled out his phone. Played a video. Sienna's mother. In her kitchen. Making coffee. Completely unaware of the camera filming her through the window. Timestamp. This morning. 7:15 a.m. Touch my mother and I'll... You'll what? Cade stepped closer. Go to the police? I own half the department. Run. I'll find you in 6 hours. Fight me? He laughed. Sienna, you're brilliant at business. But this isn't your world. It's mine. He was right. She knew it. Hated it. But knew it. If I do this, her voice shook. If I commit fraud for you, what happens to Neuralink when they discover the truth? They won't. The paperwork will be perfect. The rate's competitive enough after my people adjust them. They'll never know they were manipulated. He tilted his head. Unless you tell them. Which would be very bad for your health. Sienna's hands curled into fists. Every moral principle she'd built her life on was crumbling. But her mother's face flashed in her mind. Say, unaware, alive. Fine. The word came out like a death sentence. Cade's smile widened. Excellent. My people will send you the documents tonight. Memorize them. Sell it like your life depends on it. Because it does. Now you're learning. He moved to the bar. Returned with a folder. Dropped it in her lap. Inside, financial projections. Fake news articles about Pacific Trust's instability. Fabricated client testimonials for Golden Shore. All expertly crafted lies. Study these. Tomorrow at 10 a.m., you meet with the Neuralink CEO. His name is Kai Zhao. Young. Ambitious. Paranoid about security. Cade leaned against the window. Play to his fears. Make him think Pacific Trust is one audit away from collapse. Sienna opened the folder with trembling hands. The documents looked real. Too real. How long have you been planning this? 3 weeks. Since I first read about you in the business journal. Cade's reflection in the window showed satisfaction. You were always going to work for me, Sienna? The kiss just accelerated the timeline. Nausea rolled through her stomach. I need to go home. No. Cade turned. You stay here tonight. My men will ensure you study properly. No distractions. No second thoughts. No midnight calls to lawyers or journalists. You're keeping me prisoner. I'm keeping you focused. You walked to the door. Paused. Oh, and Sienna? When you meet Kai tomorrow, smile. Be charming. Make him trust you the way Neuralink already does. Because if this deal falls through, if he suspects anything, if you give even a hint that something's wrong. He didn't finish the sentence. He didn't need to. The door closed. Locked from the outside. Sienna was alone in a golden cage. She looked at the documents. At the lie she'd have to tell. At the line she was about to cross. Her phone buzzed. A photo of her mother. Still in her kitchen. Still safe. The message was clear. Comply or lose her. Sienna picked up the whiskey glass Cade had poured. Drank it. The burn felt appropriate. Then she opened the folder and began memorizing lies. By midnight, she had every fabricated detail committed to memory. By 2 a.m., she'd practiced her pitch 17 times. By dawn, she'd become something she swore she'd never be. A liar. A fraud. A criminal. When Cade's driver arrived at 9 a.m., Sienna was ready. Perfect suit. Perfect smile. Perfect lies. She caught her reflection in the car window. The woman staring back was a stranger. And that stranger was about to destroy a company's financial future to save her own life. Every door she opened led to another locked behind her. The meeting with Kai Zhao lasted 47 minutes. Sienna delivered every lie perfectly. She showed him the fabricated articles. Expressed concern about Pacific Trust's audit history. Painted Golden Shore as the safe harbor his company desperately needed. Kai bought every word. He signed the transfer documents right there. Shook her hand. Thanked her for looking out for Neuralink's best interests. Sienna smiled through the nausea. When she left his office, she threw up in the parking garage. Hi, welcome to Black Realities. Thanks for watching. Kindly tell me what country you're from in the comments below. Her phone rang immediately. Well done. Cade's voice dripped with approval. I'm watching the signed contracts upload now. 6 million flowing through my bank by end of business today. I did what you asked. Now leave my mother alone. Your mother is perfectly safe. But Sienna, we're just getting started. The line went dead. She drove home on autopilot. But when she pulled up to her apartment building, something was different. A new car in the lot. Black SUV. Tinted windows. Her stomach dropped. Inside her apartment the air felt wrong. Disturbed. Nothing was out of place. But someone had been here. She checked her bedroom. Her laptop was exactly where she left it. But the angle was off. Just slightly. Her closet. Clothes hung the same way. But one hanger faced backward. Someone had searched her space. Carefully. Professionally. Her phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. A photo. Her living room. Taken from inside. Today. Another photo. Her bathroom. The medicine cabinet open. A third. Her desk drawer. Her passport visible. Privacy is a privilege. One you no longer have. Sienna's hands shook. She ran to her door. Checked the locks. All secure. How did they get in? Her phone rang. Not Cade this time. Her boss. Former boss. The consulting firm she'd left to start her own business. Sienna? It's Patricia. Patricia. I wasn't expecting. I need to talk to you about something urgent. Can you come to the office? Warning bells rang in Sienna's head. What's this about? Just come. Please. It's important. The line disconnected. Sienna stared at her phone. Patricia never called. They'd parted on decent terms but hadn't spoken in 2 years. This wasn't coincidence. 30 minutes later, Sienna walked into her old office building. Everything looked the same. Same receptionist. Same bland corporate art. Same recycled air. Patricia waited in the conference room. But she wasn't alone. 3 men in suits. Government badges on the table. FBI. Sienna's blood turned to ice. Ms. Wade, please sit. The lead agent gestured to a chair. I'm Agent Torres. We need to ask you some questions. About what? Your recent business activities. Specifically, your meeting this morning with Neuralink Technologies. Her heart stopped. They knew. I don't understand. We've been investigating Golden Shore Credit Union for 18 months. Torres slid a photo across the table. Money laundering. Racketeering. Connections to organized crime. Specifically, the Choi crime family. There it was. Cade's last name attached to the word crime. We know you convinced Neuralink to transfer their accounts to Golden Shore today. Torres leaned forward. We know the documents you showed Kai Zhao were fabricated. We know you committed fraud. Sienna couldn't breathe. We also know, Torres continued, that you're not the mastermind. You're a pawn. But pawns still go to prison unless they cooperate. Cooperate how? Wear a wire. Record your conversations with Kate Choi. Help us build a case. Torres pulled out a small device. Do this and we'll offer immunity. Refuse and you're looking at 10 years minimum for fraud and conspiracy. 10 years. Her life would be over. But if she wore a wire and Kate found out, she'd be dead before trial. I need time to think. You have 24 hours. Torres stood. After that, we arrest you and hope you decide prison is worse than testifying. They left. Sienna sat alone in the conference room. Her reflection stared back from the polished table. Trapped between the FBI and a Mafia boss. Both sides demanding she betray the other. Both sides holding her life in their hands. Her phone buzzed. Kate, I heard you had visitors. Federal types. Bad suits. Worse timing. He knew. Of course he knew. Another text. Come to the penthouse. Now. We need to discuss your career options. Sienna's hands trembled so violently she nearly dropped the phone. The FBI wanted her to wear a wire. Cade wanted her to come alone to his territory. She went, he might kill her for talking to the FBI. If she didn't go, he'd know she was working with them. There was no good choice. Only different flavors of death. She stood. Walked to the elevator. Pressed the button. The doors opened. Inside stood one of Cade's men. The one from the bar. Dragon tattoo still visible on his neck. Boss is waiting. He held the elevator door. Wouldn't want to keep him waiting. It wasn't a suggestion. Sienna stepped inside. The doors closed. As the elevator descended, she realized something terrifying. Cade owned this building too. Her old office. The place she'd worked for 5 years before going independent. He'd controlled her life even before the kiss. Before the dare. Before she ever knew his name. The elevator stopped. Basement level. Not the lobby. The basement. Where no cameras reached. Where screams couldn't escape. The doors opened to darkness. And Cade's voice drifted from the shadows. Let's talk about loyalty, Sienna. And the cost of betrayal. One choice, 1 second, it would bind her forever. The basement was cold. Concrete walls. Single bulbs swinging overhead. And blood. Old stains on the floor that no amount of bleach could erase. Cade stepped into the light. His suit was pristine. His expression unreadable. But his eyes burned with something dark. Something final. Agent Torres. Cade spoke the name like a curse. Decent guy. Honest. 3 kids. Wife teaches elementary school. They live in Brookfield. Nice neighborhood. Sienna's stomach dropped. How do you? I know everything. Cade circled her slowly. Predator evaluating prey. I know he offered you immunity. I know he wants you to wear a wire. I know you're standing here trying to calculate which choice keeps you alive longest. Hi, welcome to Black Realities. Thanks for watching. Kindly tell me what country you're from in the comments below. I didn't agree to anything. Yet. Cade stopped in front of her. Close. Too close. But you're considering it. I can see it. That little spark of hope that maybe the FBI can save you from me. He reached into his jacket. Sienna flinched. But he pulled out a phone. Not a gun. Played a video. Agent Torres. In his car. Talking to someone. Yesterday. The audio was crystal clear. Once we flip Wade, we'll have enough to bring down the entire Choi operation. She's the weak link. Civilians always break. The video continued. What happens to her after? Another voice. Younger agent. Torres shrugged. Witness protection maybe. If she's lucky. If not. He made a throat-slitting gesture. Choi's people have long memories. She testifies she's dead within a year. But that's not our problem. The video ended. Cade pocketed the phone. The FBI doesn't care about you, Sienna. You're bait. Disposable. They'll use you and throw you away. Tears burned her eyes. And what are you doing? You're using me too. Yes. He didn't deny it. But I'm honest about it. I told you from the start what this was. What you'd become. The FBI lied. Gave you false hope. Which betrayal is worse? He had a point. She hated that he had a point. So what now? Her voice cracked. You kill me because I talked to them? No. Cade's hand reached out. Cupped her face. Thumb traced her cheekbone. I give you a choice. A real one. Not the illusion Torres offered. He stepped back. Gestured to a table she hadn't noticed. On it, 2 items. A gun. And a phone. The gun, Cade explained, is loaded. 6 bullets. You take it. Walk out of here. Go to the FBI. Testify. Try to survive. Maybe you get lucky. Maybe witness protection works. Maybe my people never find you. He picked up the phone. Or, you take this phone. You call Torres. You tell him you're not cooperating. Then you destroy evidence of today's meeting with Neuralink. My people have the backups. The files. Everything digital. We make it disappear. Neuralink never knows. The FBI loses their case. And you? He paused. You become mine. Completely. No more testing. No more questions. You're in. Sienna looked at both options. Gun meant running. Forever. Looking over her shoulder. Waiting for the bullet. Phone meant surrender. Becoming exactly what she'd sworn she'd never be. A criminal. There's a third option. Her voice was barely a whisper. I could try to fight you both. Cade smiled. Set. Almost gentle. You could. And you'd die tired. He glanced at his watch. You have 60 seconds. Choose. That's not enough time. In my world you don't get time. You get moments. This is yours. Sienna's mind raced. Her mother's face. Her business. Her integrity. Everything she'd built. All of it collapsing. The gun promised freedom. Maybe. The phone promised survival. Definitely. But at what cost? 30 seconds. Her hand moved. Trembling. Reaching. She picked up the phone. Cade's expression didn't change. But something flickered in his eyes. Satisfaction. Possession. Victory. Smart choice. He handed her a card with a number. Call him. No. I want to hear it. Sienna dialed with shaking fingers. Torres answered on the first ring. Ms. Wade. I'm not helping you. The words tasted like death. I'm not wearing a wire. I'm not testifying. Leave me alone. Silence. Then, you're making a mistake. A fatal one. Maybe. But it's my mistake to make. She hung up. Cade took the phone. Crushed it under his heel. Now the files. My car. 5 minutes. They drove to Neuralink's building. After hours. Empty. Cade's tech specialist, a woman with purple hair and cold efficiency, hacked the system in 90 seconds. Deleted every trace of the morning meeting. The signed documents. The email thread. The calendar appointments. Like it never happened. Except it did. And Sienna would carry that weight forever. Back in the car, Cade finally spoke. You crossed the line today. Destroyed evidence. Obstructed justice. Chose my side over the law. He looked at her. There's no going back now. I know. Good. He pulled out a small box. Opened it. Inside, a ring. Black diamond. Platinum band. What is that? Insurance. You wear this, everyone knows you're mine. Untouchable. Protected. But also owned. I'm not marrying you. It's not a marriage proposal. Cade took her left hand. Slid the ring onto her middle finger. It's a brand. You're part of the organization now. This tells my enemies that hurting you means war. The ring was heavy. Cold. Permanent. And what do I tell people when they ask? The truth. Cade's smile was sharp. That you're exactly where you chose to be. The car stopped outside her apartment. But when Sienna looked up, her blood froze. FBI vehicles. 4 of them. Parked outside her building. Taurus stood on her doorstep. Warrant in hand. Cade laughed. Oh, dark. Seems they're not giving up so easily. Time to see if you meant what you said. Taurus spotted the car. Started walking toward them. Cade's hand moved to something under his jacket. One more choice, Sienna. Let him arrest you. Or let me handle him. Handle. Not talk to. Handle. Torres was 10 feet away. 5 feet. Sienna's hand shot out. Grabbed Cade's wrist. Stopped him. No. No more killing. Then what? Cade's eyes burned into hers. Torres reached the car window. And Sienna did something that shocked them both. She kissed Cade. Hard. Desperate. Claiming. Right in front of the FBI agent. When she pulled back, Torres's face was stone. Congratulations, Ms. Wade. You just became an accessory. I'll see you in court. He walked away. But Sienna knew the truth. Court was the least of her problems now. Nothing would ever feel safe again. The FBI left at midnight. No arrest. No warrant executed. Just Torres standing on the sidewalk, watching Cade's car drive away with Sienna inside. The message was clear. You chose him. Now live with it. Sienna didn't go back to her apartment. Cade's driver took her to a different building. Taller. More secure. More expensive. 20th floor, Cade said as they entered the elevator. Your new home. I have a home. Had. He corrected. Your lease was terminated an hour ago. Your belongings are being moved as we speak. Hi, welcome to Black Realities. Thanks for watching. Kindly tell me what country you're from in the comments below. You can't just. I can. I did. The elevator doors opened. Welcome to your cage, Sienna. It's gilded. Comfortable. But still a cage. The apartment was massive. 3 bedrooms. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Furniture that cost more than she'd made in a year. And cameras. She spotted them immediately. Small. Discreet. But there. Living room. Kitchen. Hallway. The bedrooms are private, Cade said, catching her gaze. I'm controlling. Not perverted. How generous. He smiled. But it didn't reach his eyes. Your mother called you 4 times today. You should call her back. Tell her you're fine. That you got a promotion. Moved into a better place. Make it believable. Sienna's hands clenched. Leave her out of this. She's already in this. Has been since you kissed me. He moved to the bar. Poured 2 drinks. But if you cooperate, if you do your job well, she stays safe. Ignorant. Happy. He held out a glass. This time Sienna took it. Drank it in one burning gulp. What's my job now? Legitimacy. Cade set down his glass. I need clean businesses. Real contracts. You're going to help me acquire them. Your reputation, your connections, your skills, all mine now. We'll build an empire that looks legal on paper. while you run drugs and guns underneath. I prefer to think of it as diversification. You walk to the window. Tomorrow you start at my corporate office. Vice President of Acquisitions. Salary $500,000 annually. Benefits include staying alive. The number should have meant something. 6 months ago she'd have killed for that salary. Now it felt like blood money. Because that's exactly what it was. What if I mess up? What if a deal falls through? Cade turned. His expression was ice. Then someone you care about pays the price. Maybe your mother. Maybe that college roommate you still text on birthdays. Maybe the barista who knows your coffee order. He stepped closer. I have a list, Sienna. 47 people you care about. Every failure, I cross one off. Her knees went weak. She grabbed the counter to stay upright. That's insane. That's insurance. He checked his watch. I'm leaving. You'll find clothes in the bedroom. Toiletries. Everything you need. My driver will collect you at 8 a.m. sharp. He walked to the door. Paused. Oh, and Sienna? Don't try to leave. The doors are locked from the outside after midnight. Fire exits are monitored. Windows don't open. You're safe here. From everyone except me. The door closed. The lock clicked. Sienna was alone. She ran to the window. Pressed her hands against the glass. Looked down at the street 20 floors below. People walked. Lived. Free. She was a prisoner in a palace. Her phone buzzed. Her mother. Sienna answered with a smile in her voice she didn't feel. Mom. Hi. Sweetheart. I've been worried. You haven't called in days. I know. I'm sorry. Work's been crazy. Actually, I have good news. I got promoted. The lies came easier now. Smoother. She told her mother about the fake promotion. The beautiful apartment. How well everything was going. Her mother's joy felt like knives. I'm so proud of you, honey. You've worked so hard. Thanks, Mom. Sienna's voice cracked. I love you. I love you too. Get some rest. You sound tired. The call ended. Sienna stood in the center of her golden prison. The black diamond ring caught the light. Heavy on her finger. She tried to pull it off. It didn't budge. She tried harder. Pulled until her finger hurt. The ring stayed. She looked closer. There was no seam. No opening. It had been designed to never come off. A permanent mark of ownership. Sienna sank to the floor. Back against the wall. Knees pulled to her chest. She didn't cry. She'd gone past tears. Instead, she felt something else growing inside her. Not fear. Not even anger. Acceptance. This was her life now. Her choice. Her consequence. She'd kissed a monster and become one herself. The city lights twinkled below. Beautiful. Distant. Unreachable. At 3 a.m. her phone buzzed. Cade. Sleep well, Sienna. Tomorrow we build an empire. And you're going to help me burn down anyone who stands in our way. She stared at the message. Then something shifted in her chest. If she was trapped in this world, if there was no escape, if her soul was already damned, why not embrace it? Why not become what Cade wanted? Why not stop fighting and start winning? The thought should have terrified her. Instead, it felt like relief. Sienna stood. Walked to the mirror. Studied her reflection. The woman staring back was different. Harder. Colder. Dangerous. She smiled. Not a victim's smile. A predator's. If Cade wanted a partner in crime, she'd give him one. But on her terms. She'd learn his world. Master it. And eventually, maybe find a way to own it. The black diamond ring glinted in the darkness. No longer a chain. A weapon. She texted back. I'll be ready. Let's build something unforgettable. 3 dots appeared. Then disappeared. Then one word. Perfect. Sienna walked to the bedroom. Lay down in silk sheets that smelled like money and danger. And for the first time in days she slept. Not the sleep of the innocent. The sleep of someone who'd finally stopped running from the monster. And started becoming one. The war isn't over. It's only just begun. 3 months passed. Sienna Wade, VP of Acquisitions at Choi Enterprises, closed 12 deals. Laundered $43 million. Learned to lie without flinching. The FBI watched. waited, built their case brick by brick. But they had no proof. Sienna was too good, too careful, too far gone. She wore designer suits now, drove a car worth more than her old life, smiled at board meetings while discussing blood money. The woman in the mirror was unrecognizable, and she liked it. Hi, welcome to Love in the Shadows Stories. Thanks for watching. Kindly tell me what country you're from in the comments below. Tonight was different though. Cade called her to his office. Real office. Not the legitimate corporate one. The one in the back of his nightclub where real business happened. She walked past guards who nodded with respect. Past rooms where screams were muffled by bass-heavy music. Past the life she used to have. Cade stood by the window, whiskey in hand, shoulders tense. Something was wrong. We have a problem. He didn't turn around. My uncle, John Choi. He's been running operations in Seoul for 20 years. He thinks I'm weak. Thinks my American expansion is making us vulnerable. Is he right? Now Cade looked at her. Honest answer? Maybe. The FBI is circling. Torres hasn't given up. My uncle sees that as failure. So what does he want? Me gone. Him in charge. Cade downed his whiskey. There's a meeting. 3 days. Tokyo. All the family heads. They'll vote on leadership. If I lose, I'm out. Or dead. Depends on Uncle's mood. Sienna's chest tightened. Not from fear. From something else. She'd spent 3 months learning to survive in Cade's world. Learning his enemies. His weaknesses. His empire. She'd become valuable. Essential. But if he fell, she fell with him. What do you need from me? Cade smiled. Genuine this time. I need you to come with me. To Tokyo. Show the family that I have strong allies. Smart ones. That my American operation isn't a liability, it's an asset. They'll see me as a weakness. An outsider. A woman. Let them. He moved closer. Cupped her face the way he had that first night. Then prove them wrong. You've learned fast, Sienna. Faster than anyone I've ever seen. You think like me now. See angles others miss. You're not just useful anymore. You're dangerous. The compliment shouldn't have felt good. But it did. And if your uncle wins anyway? Then we run. Together. I have accounts in 12 countries. Cash in 15. Properties in 8. We disappear. Start over. Together. She repeated the word. Tested it. You're mine, Sienna. That hasn't changed. But you're also my partner now. My equal. His eyes burned into hers. I don't say that lightly. Before she could respond, the door burst open. One of Cade's men. Blood on his shirt. Panic in his eyes. Boss. We have a situation. The shipment at the docks, it's gone. All of it. 20 million in product. Just vanished. Cade went still. Deadly still. Vanished or stolen? Stolen. Clean job. Professional. No witnesses. No cameras. Whoever did this knew our operation inside out. Sienna's mind raced. Only a handful of people knew the dock schedules. Cade's inner circle. His most trusted men. Which meant one thing. You have a traitor. She said it before Cade could. His jaw clenched. Find out who. I want names in 6 hours. The man nodded. Ran out. Cade turned to Sienna. This is my uncle's move. He's sabotaging me before Tokyo. Making me look weak. Incompetent. Then we find the traitor. Make an example. Show him you're not weak. We. Cade raised an eyebrow. You said we're partners. Equals. So yes. We. Sienna straightened. I've learned your business. Your people. I can read them. Find the cracks. I know who's loyal and who's scared. Let me help. Cade studied her. Long and hard. Then nodded. Okay. Let's hunt a rat. They spent the next 5 hours interrogating every person with access to the dock operation. Sienna watched faces. Body language. Micro-expressions. Most were terrified but clean. One wasn't. Dante. Cade's logistics coordinator. 28. Been with the organization for 6 years. When Sienna asked about his family, he hesitated. Just a fraction of a second. But it was enough. His sister. Sienna whispered to Cade. Check his sister. They pulled the records. Dante's sister lived in Seoul, dating a man who worked for John Choi. There it was. The connection. Dante had sold them out to protect his sister. Or maybe for money. Or both. Cade's face went blank. Empty. Bring him to the basement. An hour later, Dante knelt in the same spot Vincent had. Hands tied. Face swollen. But this time Cade didn't hand Sienna a gun. He handed her a choice. He betrayed us. Stole from us. Put everything at risk. Cade's voice was ice. In my world there's only one punishment. But you're my partner now. So you decide. Mercy or justice. Sienna looked at Dante. Saw the fear. The regret. The humanity. 3 months ago she would have begged for his life. Now. Justice. The word came out cold. Final. Cade nodded. Raised his gun. The shot echoed. Dante fell. And Sienna didn't look away. She'd crossed so many lines, one more didn't matter. Cade holstered his weapon. Looked at her with something like pride. Tomorrow we fly to Tokyo. We face my uncle. We win. And if we don't? Then we burn it all down and start over. He took her hand. The one with the black diamond ring. Together. They walked out of the basement. Into the club where music pounded and people danced, unaware of the body cooling below their feet. Sienna caught her reflection in a mirror behind the bar. The woman staring back was a stranger. A criminal. A killer. A monster. But she was alive. And in Cade's world, that was all that mattered. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. She opened it. A photo. The Tokyo hotel where the meeting would happen. And a message. Can't wait to meet you, Sienna. Uncle John sends his regards. The threat was clear. Tokyo wouldn't be a meeting. Would be a war. And Sienna was walking straight into it. But this time, why would you walk into a war you know you might not survive? Drop your answer below. And don't forget to subscribe because this story is far from over. Isn't afraid. She was ready. Cade's hand found hers. Squeezed once. Let's show them what we're made of. Sienna smiled. Not the smile of the woman who'd walked into that bar 3 months ago. The smile of someone who'd embraced the darkness. And learned to love it.